Blog Talk Radio.
Thank you very much for being on today's program. I'm Armando Sanchez. I'll be your host today, and we are going to highlight a upcoming panel that will be part of the Latino Education and Achievement Days Conference, which is held on the campus of California State University, San Bernardino on March the 30th, 2017. And there are 4 panels, and today we're going to talk about one of those, which is the 10:50 a.m. panel, and it's called the Majority Report Supporting the Educational Success of Latino Students in California. And today as a guest we have Raquel Simental, who is the Director of External Relations and Communications at the Education Trust West organization. Now, we're going to give out a website. We're going to give out some information on how to find out more about the panel itself. So with that, we'll present Raquel Simental and have her tell us what the session will be about. Raquel, thank you for being with us on today's program.
Thank you, Armando, for having me. Well, first, let me talk to you a little bit about the Education Trust West. We are a policy, research, and advocacy organization based in Oakland, California. Our focus is closing the opportunity and achievement gaps for our students of color, our low-income students, our English learners, our foster youth, our historically disadvantaged students that make up actually a large number of students in California's schools. And we do that through our research, our policy, and data analysis, and our advocacy on focusing on policies and the levers that are going to close opportunity and achievement gaps. And our upcoming report, the Majority Report, supporting the educational success of Latino students in California, sheds light on the state of California Latino students. It presents a range of statewide data from multiple sources, and it incorporates original research and stories from primarily firsthand sources, such as interviews with current and former students. So we're excited about this report. We're excited to present it at the LEAD Summit, along with, in those stories, and that we are including other experts in the field, Julia Vergara, who's the co-executive director of the Puente Project, and Linda Vasquez, the director of regional affairs for the Campaign for College Opportunity. They are also very much experts in the field of higher education, the attainment of Latinos in higher education.
Why is this report so important?
Great question. Latinos are currently 37% of California's labor force. By 2060, Latinos will be almost half of the state's population. So we are the backbone of the state here, and in our schools. In California's K-12 schools, more than half of our students are Latinos. So, and that's an increase of 10% in the last 15 years alone. So we are the new majority in the schools, and how our Latino students are achieving is very important to the economy and the livelihood of California. And so what we are attempting to do with this report is to shed light on those opportunity and achievement gaps, the barriers that our Latino students face, and many of them are facing systemic, persistent barriers to reaching high levels in their schools, in their achievement.
Are we seeing, and we're not going to get into specifics of the report because I'm sure it's very extensive, and that'll be part of the panel, again, for the 10:50 a.m. panel on March the 30th on the campus of California State University, San Bernardino. But can you tell us sort of a general overview, are we seeing progress? Are we seeing betterment? Or does this report going to highlight some of the points that we can work on that we must improve upon?
Yes. So we take you through the barriers and the challenges that Latino students face in California. But despite those challenges, and let me just talk briefly about those challenges. If you're a Latino student in California, You are less likely than other California students to attend a school with college preparatory courses. You are less likely to be taught by an experienced teacher. And you are less likely to attend a school with a guidance counselor or nurse. More than 1 in 5 Latino students do not graduate from high school with his or her class, and half of the Latino students who enroll in CSUs do not graduate from those institutions. And when you compare that to white students, almost 2/3 of white students do graduate from CSUs and those institutions. So those are some of the barriers that we identify in our report. That being said, and despite those barriers, there has been notable progress in recent years. The high school graduation rate for Latino students is up 10 percentage points compared to 6 years ago, which is faster than the state's increase of 8 percentage points in that same time frame. And so in some of our schools and districts implementing new standards, they're utilizing new funding flexibility to really hone in and target Latino student success, and really are working to close those opportunity achievement gaps. And so we highlight some of those best practices, which why we're really excited to have Julia Vergara from the Puente Project, because that is a promising practice that really supports the Latino students both in high school and in college. And when we talk about Latino students and their higher education and their attainment of higher education degrees, the Campaign for College Opportunity is really addressing the policy changes that are needed to make sure more of our Latino students are attaining bachelor's degree. And Cal State San Bernardino is one of those higher education institutions that are really doing a good job. And so we're excited to be at Cal State San Bernardino.
Wonderful. Is there a website that you can give out where some of this information can be obtained by our listeners?
Yeah, I invite our listeners to connect with us. There are 3 main ways to connect with the Education Trust West. You can visit our website at edtrustwest.org. You can find us on Facebook, the Education Trust West, and you can find us on Twitter. Our handle is @edtrustwest. To ensure you get a copy of our report when it is released in early spring, I invite you to email us at information@edtrustwest.org.
Okay, wonderful. Now, one final question, and then we'll give out more information, more contact information on the actual LEAD conference itself. Is also the idea is now, since this panel, like all the other 3, will be webcast worldwide, how would people around the world benefit from watching your presentation?
Well, California is the 6th largest economy in the world. We have 4.3 million Latino students in our state. Their success is tied to California's success. And so I think that's why we need to shed light on the barriers and work together on the solutions that are going to lead to ensuring that our Latino students are successful. And our report also provides real concrete recommendations for both how the policy levers and best practices that schools can implement to ensure our Latino students are successful.
So other countries, I'm thinking of Australia and New Zealand, for example, they're having a higher and higher dropout rate. And I understand that they're studying the model of what's going on in California, and they're adapting it for their own communities, being that all these resources are already here. So I understand that it's very valuable information of what you're sharing for other countries who also want to learn how to deal with these issues that are similar to the Latino community. So we're really happy to have your information shared worldwide. For our listeners who want to learn more about the conference itself, you can attend for free, or you can watch it worldwide, webcast both live and on demand. you would go to the website at the campus, csusb.edu, and you look up LEAD. And you can also look up LEAD, L-E-A-D, .csusb.edu. Or you can contact me on Facebook or lsacnational@hotmail.com. So Raquel, with closing statements, please, and then once again, if you can give us your website where persons can find out more information about your outstanding report.
Yes, I think, again, the number of Latino students is 4.3 million in California, and we cannot afford to continue merely chipping away at the problem with such a substantial impact on our students' lives and our student success. We have both an ethical obligation, economic imperative to do far better for our Latino students, and we hope that this report will shed light on that and bring communities together to really talk about the solutions to uplift our Latino students. So we hope everyone will join us at our panel, and we look forward to talking with many people who have an interest in this topic.
Absolutely. And could you please once again give us the website for the Education Trust West, especially so that people can focus on the upcoming report, the majority report supporting the educational success of Latino students in California. So the website, please?
Yes, the website is edtrustwest.org. And you can sign up to receive emails, and when our report is released, you will receive it via email, or you can email me at information@edtrustwest.org.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We've been talking to Raquel Simental. It's the 10:50 a.m. panel at the Latino Education and Advocacy Days Summit. This is the 8th year on the campus of California State University, San Bernardino. And again, please attend, and I'm excited to hear about what the report is going to be. You're going to get the details. And additionally as well, if you cannot attend, you can watch it on worldwide webcast, both live and on demand. And again, refer back to LEAD on the campus of California State University, San Bernardino, or you can look up Dr. Enrique Murillo Jr., and you'll get that detailed information. Raquel, I wish you and your panel fantastic success on this valuable information. And I can understand, and I sort of pick up the idea that it's not just a report, but it's also recommendations for how to obtain additional success. So I applaud your efforts.
Thank you very much. Muchísimas gracias, Armando, and muchísimas gracias to your listeners.
Igualmente. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Armando F. Sanchez. I've been your host in today's program. You can contact me at lsacnational@hotmail.com. This program was live, but it will also be available on demand. Thank you for being here, Raquel, and your panel, and everyone at LEAD. Éxito on March the 30th, 2017 on the campus.
Adelante, gracias.
Adelante. Adiós.